Hello my friends, thanks for being here today. I just got the idea recently that I wanted to do a roundup on some of my favorite dual lip and cheek products. I feel like there are tons of things out there like this these days, and I thought I would just give my take on the ones I enjoy the most. So I've got a couple from the drugstore and a few from high-end as well. We got a child here to say hello. She can barely open her eyes up. Oh, you got a bunny visor now. That works. I think Biscuits went in there, so you might need to get her out. She won't want to stay. But anyways, I just feel like there's a lot of products like this on the market. We've got some straight just cream blushes. You do your thing. If you want to see that on your lips, you could try it. I've got one thing that's not specifically designated as lip and cheek in this video that I think actually makes a really good lip and cheek texture. But most of these things are marketed as a lip and cheek or a multi-stick or something. And yeah, they're just some of my faves. So this is just going to be a chatting it out kind of video. I've got a demo on the one I'm wearing today. And I will let you know what my face of the day is. I went Kosas big time today. I used my Kosas Revealer Foundation, the Revealer Concealer. I used my Cloud Set Powder in Airy to set around my under eye and my T-zone. For my contour, I used my M Cosmetics So Soft Stick. This is in the shade called Summer. It's the little bit warmer one that I have. Terra, it's a little cooler. What else? I did my brows. On my eyes, I'm wearing my Juvia's Place The Coffee Shop palette. This is new to me, and I'm really enjoying it. It's for brown lovers, okay? Brown lovers and maybe a little bit of taupe in there too. The shimmers are kind of taupey, but there's a lot of depth and richness, and I just had a good time creating this eye look today. And yeah, then we'll get to the lip and cheek when we get there. Actually, let's just start out with that one. One of my favorites is from Neutrogena. It's called the Hydrating Multi-Use Stick, and it's in their Hydro Boost line, and I really enjoy this. They actually market this as something you could use on the lips, cheeks, and eyes. I haven't really gotten into it on the eyes. It is very hydrating, and I don't think I'd like to wear it there all day long, but there's this shade called Temptation, and for the longest time I thought this was the only shade they had. I recently discovered at Walgreens, you know Walgreens, they'll carry some different stuff, but they've got an additional shade, but I still think Temptation is my very favorite tone. It's a little bit warm and toasty. It's kind of like if terracotta and red mixed together a little bit. So I've got this on my cheeks and I just dabbed it on straight from the stick. It's really easy to blend and it's got a lot of moisture in it. So after you do blend this in, I use my Sephora 56 brush, you will see a little like kind of dewy radiance on top of the skin. It's not real sticky, but it definitely gives you a hydrated glow that's not by way of shimmer. So I think that's beautiful on the cheeks, but then on the lips as well, it feels so balmy, so incredibly comfortable. If you've been dealing with dry lips, you will really enjoy this on your lips, and I just love the color. I like how on the lips and the cheeks it just looks so perfect on, so appropriate in both places, you know? And yeah, feel free to build it up on the cheeks a little bit if you want to too. It's very buildable, but I love that color called Temptation. Like I said, I recently discovered a shade called Soft Pink that I've only seen at Walgreens, and I will show you that as well. It's fine. I don't like it as well as Temptation. It's much softer. I guess if you're listening to what I said about Temptation, you're thinking, gosh, I'm really, really fair. I want something that's just kind of more barely there. You might like Soft Pink, but Temptation is the favorite. Another thing that falls into the drugstore price range that I recently talked about in my ColourPop video, if you missed that, you might be interested to see these in action. Their little heart blushes that they put out this year are a duo lip and cheek balm, and I think they function really well in both capacities. If I'm going to put it on my lips, I kind of want it to have a little bit of moisture, a little hydration. This shade called Cutesy Wootsy is my favorite. It's pinky, but I feel like it's kind of got some red mixed in. It's so beautiful on the lips and the cheeks. They've got two other tones to pick from. They're kind of varying intensities of pink, but the compact itself is super cute, and I think that just functions well on the lips and the cheeks. Let's see, another drugstore thing here, and this is the one where I'm like, it's not really sold as lip and cheek, but I think it does a good job on both, and this would be for those who like maybe a little more of a matte finish. Look at the e.l.f. Putty blushes, and specifically some of the more rich, more intense shades, and try putting those on the lips. They look so soft. They make your lips look so pillowy. It's not going to be the amount of moisture that some of these other products give you, but it looks like kind of a stained thing when you put it on your lips, and I think it's gorgeous. So a couple of my favorite shades, for example, there. I love Multiuse. It's nice and deep and toasty. If you look at this in a swatch, or kind of a sheared out swatch, you know, the texture overall on these putty blushes is very blendable. I wouldn't quite call it cream to powder, but they very softly blend into your skin and don't have all the juiciness of the last couple products I showed. But that's Multiuse, and I love that on lips and cheeks. That would be really pretty if you enjoy kind of a toasty brown all over thing, like you like that on your eyes, you want to see it on your lips and cheeks, that monochromatic look. Also, we recently talked about the shade Caribbean and how this actually dupes one of the colors in the new Natasha Denona little trio palette, her Berry Pop collection. This is really pretty on the cheeks as well as the lips. That is such a pretty shade. The intensity that I've got it swatched at, that's more like what you'll see on the lips. Picture it more sheared from that on the cheeks. It's so nice. So I will link below to other past applications and other videos so you can see some of these shades that I'm not putting on today in action in other ways. Another couple of formulas here that I love that I think give a nice amount of moisture, and really, as I think about that color pop texture, it reminds me a lot of Tower 28, truly. Really hydrating. I like reaching for Tower 28. I've gotten into Tower 28 quite a bit over recent weeks where I've dealt with eczema on my skin and I've wanted to reach for things that I knew were eczema friendly and not going to irritate. They never make my issues worse, you know, and so I really like their little Beach Please lip and cheek colors. This is the shade called Power Hour, and it is such a pretty deep dusty rose, y'all. This is another one of those where I adore the look of it on the lips and the cheeks. It's kind of brownish, but it's got a little bit of rosiness. It's gorgeous sheared out on the cheeks, but pretty on the lips as well. I will have to link to where I've used this. I know I've used this several times on my channel. They have other pretty shades. I've got a beautiful coral from this line. I've got kind of a lilac-y pink shade that I really like, but this is definitely my fave. This color has a lot of range and it looks really great with neutral eye looks. And if you're wondering how close is that to Multiuse from e.l.f., let's just see. They're really similar, although I think I see a hint more of a reddish tone out of Multiuse from e.l.f., and this is going a little more brownish, a little more dusty rose. And then another total fave, we can't do this video without talking about the Persona sticks. The blush multi-sticks, they are so good on lips and cheeks. The way I was raving about how good the Neutrogena just feels on lips and cheeks, these are the same way. They actually have a very similar texture. I think Neutrogena actually kind of fills in a blank for a shade that Persona doesn't have with that one called Temptation, but several of my favorites, it's hard to pick just one. They've got a color called Teddy that is very muted, much more muted than really anything that I'm mentioning so far in this video. That's the opaque color swatch. That's what that would look like, just full on your lips. But on the cheeks, it's so just soft and toasty. Really, really pretty. Very pretty on tan skin, actually. You might think, is that too light for me once that shears out? It's beautiful. I also love the color Jam. Talk about a pretty shade once sheared out on the cheeks. A lot of pink comes out of this. It looks like a pretty cool, super fresh pink, but see that berry tone that you're gonna see when it's full on applied, and just the moisture in these. It's so nice. It feels really good on the lips. And we can't leave out their red called Kiss. This is stunning. Pure red, true full-on red color potential there. And some might say that's so intense, how do I apply that? Well, I still think these are so user-friendly. You can dot it right on the cheeks and blend it out with a brush and be fine. Or blend it out with your fingers if you want to. Or you could go straight off the stick, get a little bit on your brush, or if you want to be really careful, put it on your hand first, dab onto the brush, and then to the cheek. It will work in any way you want to do it. And then for the lips, you know, if you don't want color that full on, I sometimes take it on my finger and then just dab it on my lips. Okay, that works fine too. But that's a really strong formula. They're so nicely pigmented. There's a good amount of moisture in them, but yet once you've fully blended them out, none of this stuff stays sticky or annoying. If it's going to do that, I'm not going to be a big fan. Now, outside of the e.l.f. putty blushes, not a lot that I've mentioned really feels matte. Like, we've got some very creamy formulas that offer a lot of hydration, but specifically something that's beautiful but also matte are these sticks from Ami Collet. These are available at Sephora. My gateway one here was the one called Spice. That's the berry color. It's so pretty. These sticks feel a little bit drier to the touch, but they can give off so much color. And that shade, let me tell you, that is gorgeous on lips and cheeks. Once that shears out on the cheeks, I mean, it's just like rosy, kind of in from the cold goodness. I tried to do like part of the sheer, part of it not, but I love that shade, and it caused me to buy 2 more of these. So the other shades that I got, the one called Dune. Dune is going to be a softer, more neutral color. It reminds me of a deeper take on Teddy from Persona. It's toasty, warm brown. That's a shade and a texture where I might actually do a little bit of that on the eyes. You know, just take a little synthetic brush and blend a little bit on the outside of your eye look perhaps. And then this one called Flame. I really plan to get into using this one more in the spring. This is just 100% full color. Look at the orangey tone in that reddish shade. So definitely different from anything else I have. Definitely more orange in this compared to Kiss from Persona. And I like the uniqueness factor. All these shades are different from what I've already mentioned. And they also have that matte finish on the skin. So if you're really looking for pure color, and I'm not saying that the others have shimmer, I'm just saying they're really creamy. They feel more emollient on the skin. And these just straight up, when you blend them out with your brush, they have a matte appearance. And I kind of like that versatility. I like having that option. Very last thing I'll mention here that's a totally different texture from everything else. Where did I sit it? Benetint. And maybe I will do a video coming up soon where I explain this more in depth. You know, this is that product from Benefit, one of their most long-standing things. It looks like you're using nail polish, but you're actually getting a sheer red tint. And I feel like this has maybe had a bit of a resurgence on like TikTok. I've seen people using it, kind of incorporating it in their lip combos or whatever, getting this pretty stained red rosy lip look, but you can also blend it out on the cheeks too. Think very sheer. I feel like everything else I have mentioned in this video has a complete full color potential. You could sheer it out, but like it can go very, very colorful, very what you see is what you get. This more sheer, transparent, stainy, and equally good on lips and cheeks. I feel like it's been a long time since I've used that in a video, so I think that needs to come out and play soon, but I just wanted to give that a mention. And feel free to let me know in the comments section if there's something that you love to wear on lips and cheeks and you think it's a really great product. These are just some of the things that really came to mind for me. The Neutrogena sticks, the e.l.f. putty, the new little ColourPop compacts I love, and then high-end options. We've got Tower 28, Persona, the Ami Collet sticks. Those are all really great options. And of course, Benetint as well. So thank you all so much for watching. Are you just listening for the end of the video? I appreciate your time and I thank you so much for watching. I love you. Bye.